We got some news today that I wanted to talk about, and that is some more Marvel news. I know we had some big news, technically yesterday, but it came out more today of Daredevil coming back to the MCU. So we've got some more, more fantastic news coming out of Marvel, and this is in regards to Shang-Chi. More or less, I think this is news that when when you find out, it's like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Like you've already told them from the title. Yeah, we're getting a second Shang-Chi movie, which is no brainer, and we're also getting a Disney Plus show, which I don't think they've from the articles I've read, doesn't look like they've announced who the what's it going to be about, or could be about Shang-Chi or someone else. We'll get to that in a moment. But anyway, let's talk about the here and now. Let's talk about the here and now regarding Shang-Chi and what the future could be for Shang-Chi. Now, if you guys remember, in the first movie, Shang-Chi brought the rings to technically what's left of the Avengers, and they basically say that the rings aren't from Earth and they're somewhere out there, and they're sending a beacon out to someone. Now, my theory, and I talked about this in my Shang-Chi review, my theory was that the thing they're calling out to is... Sorry, I lost my train of thought. The thing I think they're calling out to, and who I think will be the big villain for the next film, is Fin Fang Foom. Because remember, the rings are alien in origin, and the Makluan are a race of aliens who look like dragons, and that's also where Fin Fang Foom is from. He's a Makluan. So I think personally, and they always they always intrinsically tie the rings to Fin Fang Foom, no matter what. So I do think the next big villain of the story is Fin Fang Foom. And that's a character I've wanted in the MCU for ages. I've wanted to see Fin Fang Foom here, and they might as well have him, because we're not going to see him. We're not going to see Iron Man fight Fin Fang Foom, so might as well. They already took Mandarin, so there you go. Have that too. So I think that's really, again, that's just my theory that the villain is Fin Fang Foom. That was just when they were putting it all together, the alien, the rings are not Earth of origin. There's something else. There's it's always been bantied back and forth in the comics that the Mandarin rings are a mixture of science and magic, and the Makluan are masters of both. So again, it does build credence that they're building to Fin Fang Foom for the second film, which, yeah, why not? Because you already did one giant CGI monster, might as well do another one. But no, like I said, Fin Fang Foom, I love that character whenever he shows up, and it's really cool. It'd be really cool to see Fin Fang Foom in the MCU form. Anyway, so let's move on. Yeah, looking forward to that. And it does make me wonder of where else they could go, because we do know that Xialing, I think that's how you pronounce the name, Xialing is the new leader of the Ten Rings, and I think that's really cool, and I think that's who I think the show is going to be based off of for the Disney Plus show, because like I said earlier, they did announce that they're doing a Disney Plus show for the character in Shang-Chi. They could easily be a Shang-Chi TV show for Disney Plus, another Disney Plus streaming show, but they didn't say who exactly the character was. I mean, it could be Kate for all we know. But I do think the one I'm leaning towards is Xialing, and her rebuilding the Ten Rings into something else. That's what I think they're going for, is doing a rebuild of the Ten Rings. I do think that's what the show is gonna focus on. I do think that's where it's going to be. And yeah, it'd be also really cool in the Shang-Chi show is focus on the other houses, because remember, in the original comic, Shang-Chi's father had multiple children who all ran different houses across the globe and ran this international organization. So it'd be kind of there was the five deadly weapon. Each child was based off of a deadly weapon. There was Shang-Chi, who was the fist, obviously, and then you had the other ones: hammer, knives, sword, and spear. And that'd be kind of cool to kind of see, like, maybe the other houses in here. I don't know if they'll be related, but then again, like, they did say Wen Wu has been immortal, so you'd have to think that that dude has probably gotten around. So he probably did have kids with other, and had them in other houses, and they're all like, and now that they know their father's dead, the other houses are coming. So, yeah. I think that's probably where they might go. There is also, like, there is another question, and I think another character they might introduce in either here or the TV show. And this is just a wild theory, so just follow through with me. Just stay with me on this one. I think the character they're gonna follow with in here, I think it's gonna be Iron Fist. I do think that Iron Fist is gonna make a reintroduction in either here, in the Shang-Chi 2, or the the Shang-Chi Disney Plus show. I think it's gonna be one or the other that's gonna happen. Why do I say that? Reason being I think that why I think Iron Fist is going to appear here, because A, they're doing basically the same thing with introducing Ironheart first in the Black Panther movie, and then giving her own show, and that looks like it's the case with other Marvel characters in the MCU. Is like, obviously Echo showed up, and now she's going to be getting her own show on Disney Plus. She showed up in Hawkeye, she's going to show up in her own show. You have also Daredevil, more than likely showing up in Spider-Man. Like, that's probably where Daredevil's going to show up, and then he's going to get his own spin-off. So I think, obviously, that was kind of the reason why I thought of Iron Fist, because, yeah, Daredevil's coming back, and I know Kevin Feige wants to do those characters over again with more closer to home in the MCU. So it would stand to reason that he would probably have the second best martial artist in the Marvel universe show up in this, like, show up in either the movie or the TV show. Like, that would probably be it. And you could even, like, maybe they'll probably have, like, Fin Fang Foom versus Xiao Lao. Honestly, would anyone be opposed to seeing... I'm surprised that's never been a thing in the comics, even, of Fin Fang Foom fighting Xiao Lao, of Xiao Lao the Immortal. And maybe even have Foom fight the Great Protector. Or you could even say that the Great Protector is a Makluan, or all dragons in the MCU specifically are Makluan, and they're all alien dragons. All dragons are basically aliens, or something of that degree. I don't know. The MCU could do that, but anyway. So, yeah, I think again, that's just my theory. I just thought, because obviously Daredevil coming back with Charlie Cox playing him, so there's a chance that they could try to find a way to bring in Iron Fist back into the MCU fold via teaming him up with Shang-Chi. Who I'm surprised they don't usually hang out a lot with. Like, Shang-Chi and Iron Fist usually don't hang out a lot. So who knows, maybe we could even get Luke here, like the Heroes for Hire team up with Shang to combat, what Foom or what other enemy force they encounter in this film. Because again, I'm just running under my theory that it could be Foom, but it could be anybody. It could be literally anybody in here. I mean, they did basically use the Iron Man villain and a Doctor Strange villain, because Shang doesn't have a lot of villains. Even Razor Fist is technically more Elektra and Wolverine's enemy than she is. Than Razor Fist is for Shang-Chi. But he does have some enemies, maybe in the second film or in the TV show. We could focus on the Cat, who is basically who you could call Shang's archenemy. The Cat, he was his master martial artist and thief. So maybe have the Cat there. Something of that degree, but who knows. Anyway, So I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are too. And you guys tell me. So you guys tell me in the comments below. What do you guys think of Shang-Chi not only getting a TV show, excuse me, not only a sequel, but also getting a TV show on Disney Plus? God, I cannot talk today. Anyway, are you guys excited or is not? Who do you think would be the villain or the story of the movie? And who do you think's getting the TV show? And what do you think the story is? Do you think it's going to be about Shang himself, or do you think it's going to be about his sister Xialing? And yeah, just comment below. Let me know. Curious to see what you guys have to say about all of this. And other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.